Hello everyone, it's my pleasure to meet you all. Today we are going to learn a beautiful poem, The Castle, which deals with the human characters, patriotism, loyalty, greediness, and treachery. It is an allegorical poem written by the famous Scottish poet Edwin Muir. He is a renowned novelist, translator, and critic. He was born on 15th May 1887 in a farm in Orkney, Scotland. He spent his childhood in remote and unspoiled countryside before the family moved to Glasgow, a city in Scotland. He is remembered for his deeply felt and vivid descriptions written in plain language with few stylistic usages. He has used the poetic device called allegory in this poem. This technique is used by the poets and writers to highlight the morals which humans should follow. The characters of humans are attributed to the images, the figures, and events in the poem. In this poem, The Castle, the poet describes the fortification of the castle and the way it is protected by the loyal soldiers. The castle is well built and protected by the soldiers. And finally, the castle falls into the hands of the enemies. He has used allegory here. The loyal soldiers represent the loyalty and patriotism. The strong fort, the castle, symbolizes strength. Finally, how does it fall into the hands of the enemies? Let us see. All through the summer at ease we lay, and daily from the turret walls we watched the movers in the hay, and the enemy half a mile away, they seemed no threat to us at all. The narrator, one of the soldiers of the castle, tells that the soldiers who are guarding the castle are very relaxed and stress-free. The soldiers who are standing on the turret wall are watching the movers in the hay. Movers, the people who are doing the gardening work. The enemies are standing outside the castle. They are waiting to attack the castle in half mile away, and these soldiers are watching the movers instead of watching the enemies. This shows how relaxed they are, how confident they are. And the soldier tells, the enemies don't look like a big threat for us, a big danger for us. Look at his confidence. Why he looks that much confidence? What is the reason behind that? In the second stanza, we can see that. For what we thought had we to fear, with our arms and provender load on load, the towering battlements, tier on tier, the friendly allies drawing near on the every leafy summer road. The narrator tells, why should we have fear about the enemies? We have enough arms, weapons, and we have adequate food and drink. Even if the fight continues for months, they can afford to stay inside the castle and fight with the enemy for a long time. And their friendly countries have sent their soldiers to help them. They are on the way, and they are coming from every direction, walking on the leafy roads to help these people. And they have the towering battlements. Battlement is the tower-like structure which is built on the castle, tier on tier. There will be a small opening well protected battlement. Through that small opening, the soldiers can watch outside, watch the enemies, and they can shoot them down. So they have enough food, enough weapons, and the soldiers are standing on the battlements and watching the enemies, and their friendly soldiers are coming to help them. Then why should they have the fear? And the narrator continues, our gates were strong, our walls were thick, so smooth and high. No man could win a foothold there. No clever trick could take us dead or quick. Only a bird could fly, a bird could have got in. He says, our gates were strong, and walls were thick, so smooth and high. The walls are so smooth and high. So there is no crack or hole in the wall for the enemy to keep his foot and climb the wall. So he says, nobody can climb the wall. Nobody can get a foothold there. And he says, only a bird can fly high and enter the castle. Look at his confidence level. And he continues, what could they offer us for bait? Our captain was brave and we were true. There was a little private gate, a wicked gate. The wizened warder led them through. What could they offer us for bait? Bait is something which is used to induce people, to hook people, to bribe them. So the narrator asks, they cannot induce us by giving us anything. We are very loyal to the country. So they cannot offer any bribe. He is so much confident about his own countrymen. And their captain was a brave soldier. We were true, and all the soldiers were loyal to the country. They were loyal to the king. At the same time, in the same stanza, he tells, there was a little private gate. A private gate is attached to the big gate, a small opening in the big gate. There's a person in charge of that gate, a wizened warder, an old guard who is in charge of the gate. And what did he do? He got the bribe. He got gold from the enemies, and he allowed the enemies to enter the castle secretly. A wicked gate. The poet says, a wicked gate. Actually, the gate is not wicked one. Wickedness is the quality of man. And the poet gives that quality of wickedness to the gate. So it is called personification. And the old God got the money, gold from the enemy, and he allowed them inside the castle. Alas, he allows the enemies in. Oh, then, our maze of tunnel stone grew thin and treacherous as air. The cause was lost without a groan, the famous citadel overthrown, and all its secret galleries bare. Once they entered the castle, they walked through the secret paths, the maze of tunnel stone, the complicated tunnel structures in the castle. They walked through all the secret passage and reached everywhere. And they captured the castle. The poet calls the walls treacherous. The walls become thin. Walls cannot become thin. But why he uses that expression? Walls should protect the castle, and they fail to protect the castle. And they should protect the castle. Instead, they have let the castle down. They have let the country down. So he calls the walls treacherous. The cause was lost. What was the cause of the soldiers? The purpose of the soldiers was to hold it tight and prevent the enemies from entering the castle and protect the castle. But it was lost. It was lost. Even without a groan, there was no cry of pain. There was no cry of pain from the soldiers because it was a secret ambush, sudden ambush. The enemies entered secretly and suddenly they attacked the soldiers and they were not able to do anything. So there was no cry of pain. And the castle was overthrown, captured. The famous citadel overthrown. And all the secret galleries. They went to all the secret chambers of the castle and they looted, rampaged the precious articles in the castle. And all the secret galleries were emptied by the enemies. It's because of one man's greediness. How can this shameful tale be told? I will maintain until my death. How can this shameful tale be told? I will maintain until my death. We could do nothing being souls. We could do nothing being souls. Our only enemy was gold, and we had no arms to fight it with it. And we had no arms to fight it with. So the enemies entered the castle, and the castle was captured by the enemies. The narrator painfully describes, how can I tell this story to anyone? It's a shameful act. It's a shameful act done by his own countrymen. He got the money from the enemies and he let his country down. So this narrator is not ready to tell this to anyone because it's a shameful act. He feels ashamed to tell this story to anyone. So he says he will maintain this secret until his death. He won't tell this to anyone. When the enemies entered, the soldiers were not able to fight. We could do nothing because they were not able to fight. It was a secret ambush, sudden attack. And they were not ready to fight with gold. Their real enemy was not the soldiers. They didn't have a fight, face-to-face fight. They were defeated by gold. Gold was their real enemy, and the real enemy was gold, and we had no arms to fight it with. And they didn't know how to fight with gold, how to fight with greediness, how to fight with disloyalty. So in this poem, the narrator starts with the confident words, and finally he ends with the words of agony. The message conveyed in this poem is, though a country is strong, well protected, and prosperous, a disloyal act of someone, the greediness of someone can bring the country down. So we should be loyal to our country, loyal to the society. Hope you all enjoyed this poem. Thank you for watching.